Hello all.
Morning.
Well, so, what's today's story?
Well, we're looking at Nehemiah again today. Last week we heard that he ended up with a pretty big job on his hands. I mean, you're an engineer, you know a bit about big jobs. What's the biggest job you've ever had to deal with or ever worked on?
Probably the biggest job I've been on was the Thames barrier, I think.
Yeah, that was a pretty major job in its time, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
What do you need for a big job like that?
Well, you need lots of people, and you need machines, and you need materials, and you need a program so that everybody knows what they're doing, and people need to know what they're doing.
You mean you want people who actually are professionals, so...
Oh, absolutely. Not allowed on site without health and safety training.
Yeah,
And also you've got to, you can't have ordinary people doing it, it'll just look wonky.
I'm starting to think that Nehemiah had an even bigger job than we initially thought. You wouldn't just use anybody.
Anybody could do it, yes.
I think we better see how he got on.
Jerusalem was in a real mess. Everything had been knocked down or broken. Nehemiah had come from the king of Persia with supplies to rebuild the wall. After he arrived, Nehemiah went out one night to have a look at all the damage. In some places, it was so bad that even the donkey he was riding couldn't get through. He could see it was going to be a very big job. The next day, he called the leaders of the people together. He told them how God had answered his prayers, and he encouraged them to start rebuilding. The people got together in groups, and each group worked on a section of the wall. These were not professional builders. They were priests and temple servants, shopkeepers, perfume makers, people who make things from silver and gold, families, men and women, and leaders and rulers of the area. They worked together, and they worked hard. The people round about saw what they were trying to do, and they were laughing. They could see it was going to be a big job, and they made fun of the workers. Even a fox could knock down that pathetic wall, they said. But the people kept working. They worked together, and they worked hard. And the wall began to grow. When the people round about saw that the wall was growing, they became worried. They did not want Jerusalem to be strong and safe again, so they started planning to attack the workers. Nehemiah heard about this plan, but he did not want the work to stop, so he came up with his own plan. He split the workers into two groups. One group kept working on the wall. The other group had weapons and watched out for an attack. One man had a trumpet. If there was an attack, he would blow the trumpet and everyone would come to help. They all worked together and they worked hard. Nehemiah encouraged the people to look after each other and to act fairly. And he shared what he had with others. He worked alongside them. They worked from when the sun came up in the morning until the stars came out at night. They were determined to finish the job. At last, the walls were finished, and Jerusalem was strong and safe again. When the people round about saw this, they realized that all this had been done with God's help.
Well, that was an interesting story, wasn't it? Looks like I was wrong that actually ordinary people can do extraordinarily big projects.
Yeah, they all worked together. They got the job done. Yeah, and Nehemiah was a good leader too.
He was, I think. How do you think he got to be such a good leader?
Well, right at the beginning, even before he was sent to Jerusalem, he asked God for help. And then when he got there, he encouraged the people to work together. When things were getting a bit sticky, he split them up and made one team kept working and the other team looked out for them, protected them. So yeah, and he treated people fairly. He wasn't bossy, asking other people to do things. He did his fair share of the work.
He did. He worked very hard. Yes, I think it's a very good story, isn't it, about how we can help each other. What can we do for each other, do you think?
Well, sometimes when we try to do what God wants, people can be nasty. They can be insulting. They can be unpleasant.
Like the people in the story.
Like the people in the story, yeah. It's not often that we're actually directly threatened, but some people have to face that. And I think we can defend each other. We can help each other out in that situation.
Yeah, I think we can do. We can look to God and we can pray for each other. We can stand alongside each other.
Yeah. And we can encourage each other.
That too,
yes. So, I think our lesson for today is sometimes some jobs are too big to do on our own. Sometimes we need each other. Sometimes we need help. We need people to come alongside us and encourage us. Sometimes other people are having a hard time and they need us, because together we can get the job done. Our challenge for this week is to think of a big project, like our Lego one maybe. Something that would be big, too big to do on your own or would take too long. And then work on it with somebody else, working together on it. See what you can achieve.
I'm sure you will achieve great things.
Bye.
Bye.